Former liquor tycoon Vijay Mallya has appeared before the London court for the latest hearing in his extradition case. Speaking to the media before he headed into court, Mallya said that he has offered a comprehensive settlement. The judges are all set to review the video of Mumbai's Arthur Road jail. At the previous hearing in July in the Westminster Magistrates Court, had asked the Indian authorities to submit a step-by-step video of barrack number 12 where Mallya will be kept if he is extradited. The court had sought the video after Mallya complained of poor living conditions in Indian jails and claimed that they violate human rights. The extradition trial aimed at laying out a prima facie case of fraud against Mallya. Mallya has been accused of defaulting in loans over 9,000 crores taken from a consortium of banks.
Sir, how do you feel with this? And are you confident things will go your way?
I'm not going to make any predictions. As far as I'm concerned, I have made a comprehensive settlement offer before the Karnataka High Court in India. I hope the honourable judges will consider it favourably. Everybody gets paid off. And I guess that's the primary objective.
The objective is to pay everyone off, Vijay, but there are still criminal charges pending. You can't pay those off. Regardless of how much money you offer.
Mr. Mallya, have you convinced the court that you have the means to pay what you have said you will?
Obviously, that's why the settlement offer has been made.
Right, news just in inside track of Mallya hearing only on India Today. Court has viewed the Mumbai jail video almost 3 times. This is Mallya had said that he cannot go back to India as the condition of Indian jails is very poor. He also said that the condition violates all human rights regulations. Mallya's defense lawyer says loan was taken to run Kingfisher as a viable and economically successful entity rather than running it to the ground. Let's get now from Lavina Tandon, who's with us live from London this afternoon. Lavina, we're being told that the court has viewed the video 3 times. Get us the latest from there.
The video was submitted much before this proceeding has started, Simi, and therefore the judge Emma Arbuthnot said that she has viewed the video 3 times, and so has the prosecution and the defense. And after that, they have their submissions ready, the closing submissions ready. Defense, as we speak, is putting forth their case where they have completely ruled out the prima facie case, the existence of a prima facie case in the case of Mr. Vijay Mallya, and they say that the very evidence as we speak, they are giving out various evidences, they're picking out on evidence and saying how the evidence given by the prosecution or the Indian government is actually undermining the case, that they are unsubstantiating. They're unsubstantiating and undermining are the 2 words that she used to their own prima facie case. So, for example, she said the case of the bank saying that the whole loan was taken fraudulently, this by stating false profitability of Kingfisher. They've said that that's absolutely not true, and they're picking out on evidences saying that the loan was used in paying up other debts, which was one of the requirements. So as we speak, the defense is picking out on all the loopholes as she sees it in the prosecution, the evidence presented by the prosecution. As we speak now, we haven't been shown the video. The judge, the prosecution and the defense have seen it in their own time, but the court has yet to see the video of the prison on which everything hinges upon at this time, Simi.
Right, and Lavina, speaking outside the court premises, Mallya once again said that he has made a settlement offer. Has his defense team or has he shared any details about any response that he may have gotten from the Karnataka court or from the Indian administration?
As of now, we are not aware of any response. We don't think there is any response that has reached, and which is why he just said yes. He didn't make much big statement like he did last time. All he said was yes, he has made the settlement offer, and that obviously has not been accepted, and that's why he's here. And he reiterated what he said in one syllable: yes, I have before. So not much comes from him in terms of whether that's been accepted or not.
Right, Lavina, stay on with us. Let's also get a word from Manish Pandey, who's with us live. Manish, I want to understand what's happening back here in India. Vijay Mallya says that he's made an effort to the Karnataka High Court, saying he's ready to pay more than what he owed to the banks. Has there been any reaction to that offer from Indian authorities?
Yeah, well, Simi, the Indian agencies and the officials of both the Central Bureau of Investigation and the Enforcement Directorate are closely monitoring this hearing. And remember, the officials of Central Bureau of Investigation are already inside the court to give an update to the senior officials. Now, what we have been given to understand by our sources in the Central Bureau of Investigation and the ED is that they have submitted all the documents, and the argument of defense that the Indian side is presenting a bizarre case is absolutely false. All the documents have been submitted before the Westminster Court via the Crown Prosecution Service, which is representing the Indian government, and there are evidence against Vijay Mallya on the basis of which this extradition process is going on. Also, they are saying that it was just a delay tactic by Vijay Mallya to point out the jail conditions in India, and the 8-minute video has already ended the suspicion over the sunlight and also other allegations by the lawyers of Vijay Mallya. So they are quite confident that the evidence and the documents submitted by the Indian side, and also by the and also the new evidence, which is the video which shows the jail conditions in India, is going to end all the suspicion, and they are waiting for a court to pronounce an order in this case.
Please stay on with us. Let's also get a word from Mustafa Sheikh, who's with us live from Mumbai. Mustafa, Indian agencies have shared an 8-minute long video of barrack number 12 of Arthur Road Jail. What are you learning from your sources? What are the kind of visuals that they have presented before the court? We're being told that a private bathroom has also been promised to him, along with a small courtyard.
Yes, of course. The 8-minute video, as Manish mentioned, there are, if you can, I can tell you in detail, it's the Arthur Road Jail, barrack number 12, where Peter Mukherjee, who has been arrested in Sheena Boda murder case, is presently staying in. They are saying that it's having a east facing window, which facilitates fresh air. There's a TV set. There is some space for Mallya to take a stroll. He'll be given access to library, and there is no overcrowding. We have been told that in that barrack only 6 inmates will be kept, and that's why these details have been submitted in the video so that it can facilitate the extradition of Mallya back to Singapore.
So, Mustafa, does that mean there'll be that Mallya will actually be sharing the room with 6 other convicts? He'll have to share that bathroom as well with 6 other people, with 5 other convicts?
Yes, as we were saying, that because it's a separate barrack, and the jail authorities have said that there will be 6 inmates who are under trials, and if you see, that barrack has been the house for a lot of people, like ex-deputy Chief Minister of Maharashtra Chhagan Bhujbal, while he was in jail in the Enforcement Directorate case. He was kept in the same barrack, and as I told you, Peter Mukherjee is currently lodged in the same barrack. And what we are getting to hear is that the video has been made for the same barrack, and it's been said that there are basic facilities available, and he'll be sharing the facilities which are available between the other inmates in the same barrack. Back to you.
Right, we have our team of reporters tracking this big story for us. We have Mustafa Sheikh, who's with us live from Mumbai. We have Manish Pandey, who's with us live from the National Capital, and Lavina Tandon, who's been getting us updates from London. Lavina, can we actually expect a final order from the Westminster Court today?
No charges pending. You can't pay those off.
All right.
Regardless of how much money...
Lavina, can you hear me?
We are hoping that the date of the verdict might be... Yes, I can hear you, Simi. I can hear you. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can. Please go ahead.
Hello?
Yes, Lavina, please go ahead.
Can you hear me? Brilliant. Simi, no, we didn't... We do not expect the final order definitely today. What we do expect that this should be the last hearing, and we will get to know when the final order or the final verdict, as we call, will be through. But it all depends on the whole case and what arguments come through. Every time we have expected that this is going to be the last hearing, there's always a next one. So one hopes that there is no next hearing, and the next we know is the date of the verdict, but no final order today. But we might get a sort of inclination from the kind of arguments that go inside, which is going to be all day, by the way, by the looks of it, as to which way this might be going. But it could also be a cliffhanger, so hang in there.
Right, and Lavina, can you share details of arguments that have been put forth by Indian agencies, because the CBI and Indian agencies, CBI and ED, feel that they've managed to put together an airtight case?
They have always maintained that, Simi, that the Indian government has put forth an airtight case, and the fact that they have really been on it from the beginning, completely giving to the court what they want. But every time the defense has taken out the wool of the thread, every single time the evidence has been put forth, and that is what they are doing right now. The prosecution has not yet stood up. It's the defense that is putting forth their argument and their closing statement, and saying that the entire case, these are the two very important words to take away, that the evidence that Indian government has put forth through prosecution undermines the case, prima facie case, that they are trying to push for. So she is doing everything that she can to pick out on the emails and the evidence that has been given by the prosecution to say that it actually supports the case, that it was a business failure and not a fraud that Kingfisher went on to do, and also the funds that were used in other places it was well known to the bank, and the fact that it was actually one of the requirement, and the fact that the business was failing was promptly informed to the bank. So the banks were not kept in blind at all, and therefore the evidence that has been submitted by the prosecution, defense is picking up on each bit and saying that every evidence actually substantiates the defense's case and undermines the prosecution, that is the Indian government's case.
Absolutely. Lavina, stay with us. This is the big story we're tracking. The Indian team has presented an 8-minute long video of barrack number 12 of Arthur Road Jail in Mumbai, where Vijay Mallya is expected to stay if he's extradited to India. The judge is also expected to hear final closing arguments today, is what we are learning, after which a timeline for her ruling will become clearer. The extradition trial, which opened at the London court on the 4th of December last year, is aimed at laying out a prima facie case of fraud against the liquor baron. We have Manish Pandey, who's with us live from the national capital. We have Lavina Tandon, who's with us live from London. And we have Mustafa Sheikh, who's getting us updates from Mumbai. Manish, if I could come to you. The court has still not made it clear whether or not a prima facie case of fraud has been made against Vijay Mallya. Is that something that's going to be looked at with the extradition proceedings?
Yeah, well, Simi, India has submitted all the documents, and the final submission of India from the Indian counterpart is already presented before the Westminster Court. Now, India has submitted its case. This hearing is very crucial in terms of the jail condition in India, and that is why when the questions were raised by the lawyers of Vijay Mallya in the last hearing, this video, which is an 8-minute video, which Mustafa was also talking about, it is the suspicion over the conditions of Indian jail, that is barrack number 12, where Vijay Mallya will be lodged, and it had six separate cells where Vijay Mallya will be put in if he is extradited to India. Now, also the video also shows that there is a natural sunlight. He can have access to a courtyard where he can go in the afternoon. Also, he will get a separate blanket and the mattress every day. He will get 5 meals per day, and he can also have access to library and a separate toilet also. So this hearing is important in terms of the jail condition in India. But as Lavina was mentioned, this is not going to be the last hearing, but already India has submitted before the case before the court, and the defense, which is arguing that this cause there is no enough evidence against Vijay Mallya. The Indian agencies are saying that this is a very bizarre excuse by Vijay Mallya through his lawyers, and they have already satisfied the Crown Prosecution Service, who is presenting India's case before the London court, and all they are saying that in next hearing, maybe the court will pronounce its final order whether to extradite Vijay Mallya or not.
I'd like to bring Lavina back into the picture here. Lavina, you're telling us that there's an 8-minute-long video that has been presented to the judge by Indian agencies. It has been viewed separately by the judge, by the prosecution and by the defense team. Why has there been a request made by Vijay Mallya's defense team to not play out the video in an open court?
Just to keep, possibly to keep, because then it is open to all interpretations possibly, and that is why they have asked. They have, in fact, we were expecting to see the video, but hopefully, I think we won't be seeing the video now. But it has been seen by the judge, and they are picking up as we speak now on various parts of the evidence, and the video will be discussed. The defense is at this point putting forth their point of view, how this is not a prima facie case of fraud, but a case of business failure. But obviously, when you play the video in the court, it is absolutely open to various interpretations, and they want to keep it like many other documents that have not been released.
And Lavina, as you're saying that the trial is taking place, it's aimed at laying out a prima facie case of fraud against Vijay Mallya. His defense team is trying to show that there's no fraudulent intention on the part of Vijay Mallya. He had taken these loans to run a successful airline company which failed.
Yes, it is a case absolutely of prima facie case of fraud and intention of fraud, and not having and used the loan for money laundering actually in a small way, as opposed to a case of business failure. The defense is saying that it was a pure business failure. The bank knew about it. They were informed about it. In fact, in the prosecution, there is a statement from one of the bank officials where it was accepted that he uses the loan in paying up various other debts to keep the business afloat. But because the airline conditions at that time, the industry conditions of the airline were not right, therefore the business failed, and it is a complete case of business failure. In fact, if he did not want to run a successful business, and if he wanted to do any fraud, he would not have given a personal security. The securities were also given, personal security was given. He has said before that there was no need to give a personal security, but he gave the personal security to the banks only because his intentions were right. He wanted his business to be a success, but it could not be because of the airline industry conditions at the time when Kingfisher failed. So absolutely a case of a business failure and not a prima facie case of fraud. And the whole case that prosecution has put forth, all the evidences that prosecution has put forth, defense are saying they substantiate the case of the defense rather than the prosecution. They undermine their own case.
Right, Lavina, Manish and Mustafa, stay on with us. The fugitive liquor baron will be lodged in barrack number 12 of Mumbai's Arthur Road jail if he is deported to India. After Mallya's claims about poor jail conditions, the police has submitted an 8-minute-long video showing the condition inside barrack number 12. They claim that Mallya will be given a room full of sunlight, a television set, a personal toilet, bedding, a washing area and a courtyard to take a stroll in. These are details that have been handed over to the judge at Westminster Court. We have Lavina, who's with us live from London. We also have Manish Pandey, who's with us live from the National Capital, and Mustafa Sheikh, who's with us live from Mumbai. Mustafa, interesting details here coming to light. You're telling us that Mallya will be sharing barrack number 12 with 5 other convicts or under trials. But what the Indian agencies have told the UK court is that he'll have a private bathroom, he'll have bedding, a room to himself and a courtyard.
Well, as far as we are given to understand by the CBI in that video that they have shot is of barrack number 12, and what we have heard from the Arthur Road jail authorities is that that barrack has a capacity of 6 inmates. So depending whether they want to shift the other inmates to other barracks and keep Vijay Mallya alone in that barrack is a discretion of the investigating agency, or they can request it for the to the jail authorities to do the same. But at this point of time, what we have been able to told is the capacity is of 6 inmates, and we have also been told that in the other cases, for example, I gave you Peter Mukherjee, Shagan Bhujbal, then in the PNB scam case, Vipul Ambani, who was arrested, was kept in the same barrack. So what we are getting to hear that this will be the barrack where he'll be housed, and that's where the video has been made. The facilities has been listed out. It is possible that he may be kept alone, Vijay Mallya may be kept alone, or with other under trials who are already launched will stay as it is. Back to you.
Right, Mustafa, stay on with us. The extradition trial, which opened at the London court on the 4th of December last year, is aimed at laying out a prima facie case of fraud against Vijay Mallya. In fact, his defence team has been making several arguments against extradition, also saying that he faces a threat to his life inside the jail premises. Also speaking about poor living conditions inside the jail, we have Lavina Tandon, who's been getting us updates from London. Lavina, the threat to life is also an argument that was made by Mallya's defence team.
Yes, it was made to last time, and the question of security was raised. How secure is the jail? And therefore, that is another thing that needs to be seen in the video. They had argued that the outside of the jail is very secure. It is plated, possibly steel plated, and that needed to be confirmed as well through the video. And we will possibly hear what is happening with regards to that. So just to bring you to life to the various questions of human rights with regards to the jail that have been raised. Mainly they are natural light, changing of sheets every day, access to the doctor, security, how secure is the jail, that has several times been raised, and so also last time. And also he doesn't keep very well, so access to the doctors and a western seat, a toilet. So that is all that has been raised, and this video should be and must have addressed all of that.
All right, Lavina, Manish and Mustafa, thanks so much for that. We're going to keep coming back to you for more. Quick break here.
Thanks for watching the video. For more such news and updates, please like, share and subscribe to India Today. Also check out our other great videos from our channel. We know you would love to.